So here's another definition that you need to remember in organic chemistry 1, 2, even biochem. It's the word substituent. So it comes from substituting. So the word substituent, you will hear us using it all the time. Substituents, substituted. All of these terms overlap. Substituent is an atom or group of atoms, like an alkyl, that replaces a hydrogen atom in a compound. So you in an alkane, let's say like in this case pentane, you have H's, you have hydrogens that are not shown. Well, what you can do is you can remove one of those H's and add what we call a group, and that's what we call a substituent. And we usually use the shorthand of SUSBS. So for example, I can replace this with a CH3. So now this is what we call a methyl substituent. That's what substituents mean. It could be, of course, a halogen, but it's mainly referred to it's mainly with the alkyl substituent. So removing an H from an alkene gives an alkyl group, or what we call an alkyl substituent. So the word now changes from alkane to alkyl. I'm talking about what you attach here. Alkyl groups are named by changing the ane ending in an alkane with a YL. So instead of methane, you call it a methyl. So compare this with CH4. What we removed is we removed one of the H's, so it looked like this pretty much. And imagine we now take off this H and attach it onto let's say an alkane, a bigger alkane. So now it becomes like this, a CH3. So there's a name for this. We call this a methyl. So if this is called a methane, then this is a methyl right here. If you have CH3, CH3, you remove one of the H's, and then of course now it's bonded to something else. This is called an ethane, but if it's a substituent, it's called an ethyl. Of course, as the molecule gets bigger, you have now two possibilities since you have constitutional isomers. If you have, for 3 carbons, if you have CH3, CH2, CH3, you can draw this out. This would be called a propane. But as a substituent, it's called a propyl. Right here. Now, if you attach it here from the end, at the end, to a primary carbon. If you attach it to the secondary, so here I'm going to write the attachment at primary carbon. If you attach at the secondary carbon, this now changes to isopropyl. And we're going to say the attachment at secondary carbon, or the substitution at secondary carbon. And I'm going to highlight them for you. So this is a primary carbon before, of course, the attachment. But if you notice now, if you attach it to this one, it becomes a propyl. And that's right here is your secondary carbon. So what are examples of these? So if I have a long chain, this would be my isopropyl. Superimpose these onto this, and you'll see it. So this would be my isopropyl. And I'm going to highlight where the attachment is. So imagine this. Highlighted is where that one is. You should be able to see the hydrogens. Of course, they're implied, they're not shown. As far as if you have the propane and it looks like this, then that would be 3 different groups. So it would look like this. And I'm going to show you the attachment right here. So this would be the propyl.